Hey folks, it's us, a married black couple traveling the world while living on vacation. Hey folks. As you guys know, we like to make sure we review a lot of the places we go, hotels, restaurants, cruise ships. This one's going to be a little different. So as you can see, there's a little warning about this one here. But before we dive into some of the not so great things about this ship, we've been reading a lot of things about this where the trips with them have been disastrous. They're ranked the worst cruise ship in the world. Stay away. But we wanted to jump on a Spirit flight and find out for ourselves. I know people have their own personal views about Spirit, some good, some great. For us, it has always been great. They have never given us any problems, so shout out to Spirit. We love flying Spirit. You get what you pay for, your basic amenities. If you're looking to get on a flight just to get from point A to B, Spirit is perfect for that. So the next morning we wake up. As you can see, we're leaving off, going to the dock. We catch an Uber from the hotel to the dock, which is probably about 45 minutes to an hour away. So that by itself was a little rough. Leaving Fort Lauderdale, going to West Palm Beach is about 45 minutes to an hour drive. And there aren't any shuttles, so you have to make your own concessions. Could we have flown into West Palm Beach? Yes, but the pricing was a lot higher. Now, once we arrived at the dock, you go through security, you do your check-in, which is what we did. And as you can see, it's basic, going up the escalators, we're getting checked in, we're looking around. Process of checking in was pretty good. And then there's where some of the issues start. You pay for your cruise taxes. Well, one of the things with Margaritaville is they charge a fuel surplus tax, charge, not a tax, a charge. And that is somewhere around about $20 per person, per night, per cabin. They also mandatorily charge you for tips, which is about $15 per person, per night, per cabin. It is disclosed that you do pay those fees on their website, which I did find. Now, as you can see, once before you get on, they have different booths for you to sign up for the massages. You can sign up for the drink packages. Once you come in, you're able to take photos of the flip-flop is right there for you to take a picture of in the main lobby when you come in. And then we decided to explore a little bit, and we walked around the ship and saw some of the the great things that they had to look at. And of course, a couple different performers were performing, which this guy was actually pretty good. And he's actually pretty good. This next portion is where it gets a little shaky. So the food. Even though the presentation looks well, the food was very subpar. The taste was off. The buffet food is buffet food. You get what you get at buffet. There's no extra seasoning. There's no salt. There's no pepper. You get basic of basic. Now, although the desserts did look pretty decent, there were hit and misses. The drinks were absolutely terrible. It might have said kiwi, mango, strawberry, lemonade. It tasted like water. Their juices were so watered down that it really made you want to get the soda package because it was not great at all. So let's do a tour of the room. We did select an inside cabin, which is always one of the more or less expensive cabins on the ship. And your key card, as you can tell if you've been on the ship, is used basically for everything. Use it to purchase, to get into your room, and to get into certain activities. This room was, again, an inside cabin, a king-size cabin. Now, we did get a cabin that had 2 bunk beds, which is what you're looking at straight ahead. We didn't know that until we started exploring a little bit more, but the bed has outlets on the sides of them, but unfortunately for us, none of the outlets on our ship worked, or in our room, They had one outlet right there by the mirror that did work, that we were able to charge our phones throughout the day. Now, as you can see, there's a wall of the Eastern Caribbean that we had on our area to kind of know where we were going, which areas we were, the TV. Unfortunately, the television did not work until the last night for some reason, and it was very spotty because of the Wi-Fi on the ship. We do not recommend getting the Wi-Fi because it was very, very slow. Hello, there's us in the background. You have a little bar area. You have some storage space. There's your life preserves, and this one was set up for a family cabin. Extra space to hang up your clothes, put your items in the closet out of the way. As every cruise ship has, bathrooms are very, very minimal. You have your basic sink, full wall to ceiling mirror, small shower with all of your toiletries, and a basic toilet. This part was very upsetting. This is when they had a breakfast buffet, and we wanted to go eat in the main dining hall. And this is what we were told.
Here?
Sorry, dear.
Can we make breakfast here instead of going to the buffet?
We do brunch right here for $24 per person.
I thought it was free.
For the free ones, only the buffet here.
Oh.
The dinner itself is complimentary.
That sucks. And with that even happening, this is where it gets really bad. As you can see, that's standing water. This was the issue. The shower in my brother's room continually ran, and it ran into the entire floor past the toilet. The drainage did not work. They had contacted maintenance to let them know. All maintenance did was come and put a towel down in front of the shower. Maintenance was aware of this situation, and they had repeatedly communicated this to get fixed, and no one took care of it. This was absolutely crazy. The supervisor that we spoke to in customer service said that she would refer back to the management of the maintenance to find out what the situation was, because she didn't want to make any quick judgment calls on our statement, which I understand. She has to do research and find out what's going on. We did ask if they could give some kind of concession, some kind of room credit, discount, even an upgrade, move to a suite or something for the inconvenience. This is night one, remember, okay? So she said that she would check into it and get us back to us, but before anything, she immediately put a stop. There's not going to be a credit. There's not going to be any refunds or discounts. The best they could do is try to move them to a suite. But unfortunately, this ship only had 10 suites and they were all booked. So it's like basically telling us you're really not going to do anything about this. And this is day one of the ship, or night one of the ship. So they said they would get back to us. So here it is. Now, this is a 3-night cruise. Night number 2 comes around. Night number 3 comes around, and they say, well, there's nothing they can do. They can just go ahead and move them to a new cabin. Well, there's no need of packing up everything, putting it in a suitcase and moving, because you got one more night. You might as well just take wash-ups in the sink and leave the shower alone. So that was their explanation. And again, let me show you the water that was leaking. I know I showed it before, but this is the water running in the shower, in the bathroom, not even draining in the shower. So as you can see, that pretty much caused a safety hazard. We left that with a very bad taste in our mouth. So my brother called the front desk and told them that they had ran out of toilet tissue and they couldn't find their room steward to refill the room. They brought them the toilet tissue and left. They noticed a $5 charge plus 25% for room service, delivery of toilet paper.
What? What the fuck?
Yes, they charged them for toilet tissue to be brought to the room, which should have been part of a standard situation. Now, that would have been the over the top issue for me personally. But my sister and my brother are extremely God fearing people, and they turned the cheek. Me, I'm not turning the cheek. You're going to have to hit me head on because we're going at it this time. You are not charging me $5, first of all, for one roll of toilet tissue when I can go to Family Dollar and get me a whole 6 or 8 pack for $5.99. Then you're going to charge me 25% on top of that to have it brought to the room when that's your job in the first place, to clean the rooms. So this really kind of was the basis of this whole cruise. This was the defining moment of the cruise for me that let me know we will never, ever use Margaritaville cruises or patron any Margaritaville establishments going forward for me and my family. This was disheartening. We did not allow it to kill our trip, but we did state we would also do our surveys. I'm going to give my Google reviews, and I'm going to make sure I do a video explaining to everyone what we went through on this trip. So if it takes only one person to like this video and say, hey, we're not going because of what they experienced, and we know they like to travel a lot, that's fine for me. I would rather have one person not use them ever again than to have many people go just to experience the downfalls we have. This is not an endorsement for any other cruise ship. I basically implore you to utilize one of them before thinking of using your hard-earned money to waste on Margaritaville cruise. Do not do that. Do whatever you need to do to not use Margaritaville cruise ships. I hope this helps somebody. Hope you understand what we went through on our ship. There were some good times with the family. We enjoyed our time together, but the ship did put a dampening spirit a little bit on our vacation. So, but as always, this is Stephen with King and Queen Getaways. We thank you guys so much for following. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at King and Queen Getaways, and also follow us on TikTok and Instagram as we continue to travel while living life on vacation and bringing to you our travels where you can live vicarious through us. We love you and thank you so much for following.
And bye from Kanika.